My buddy Wes over there measured 1 inch in from the end and put a line. That's where you start your hat channel, 1 inch from the end on that thing. And these trusses are 5 foot on center. So once he screws his up right to the edge here and puts it at 1 inch, then we'll pull our layout. And that way we're 5 foot on center with our trusses. That's very important you do that.
I'm not sure why I did it.
If you don't, then your trusses are crooked and it kind of looks bad. But we use our trusses for measurements when we do our sheet metal. That way it's a reference point when we do our sheet metal layout 3 foot on center for our high ribs. We can measure from truss to center to know from top to bottom that a metal is going parallel or sheet is going parallel. If they're different, you can scrunch one back or pull one forward to keep it square going all the way to the end of the building. That is really important. Oh, you need my tape, huh? Sorry. The hook is on there. We'll pull 5 foot on center. So we pull 5 foot on center, which is 5 foot to the edge. You hook on your truss, you're 5 foot to the edge. So we mark those. You got it? Okay, very important to do your layout, and you can see I got my mark right here. That's where the edge of my truss. So my truss is going to go clear over here like that, which should put your truss pretty close to the center of your hat channel. Should be pretty close to the center. That not always going to be perfect, but that is really crucial. Like he's going to screw his, and I'll just hold his. And we do ours a little different than kind of I think what you must. Some of the VersaTube things that I've seen on the brochure, they have them back up here, or they'll have them back down here. I do mine different. I want mine at the corner because my screws, when I do my sheet metal, I screw it to my hat channel out here. My Eave trim's 6x6, so it goes right over here, and over this piece it hides my screws, so you never see those screws for the sheet metal, so you don't have to pre-drill them and worry about them being crooked. So let me get mine on layout here. Layout right there. So if it's not on layout when we pull the next one, well, then we're off. We go off all the way down. You figure if you're an 1/8 inch off on this one, the next one you can be 1/4, then you could be, 3/8. So you can get off real fast if you don't do your layout. All right, next one. So on this particular building, we have a 4 foot wall. So we're just gonna drop down a little bit. Shake the camera guy like crazy on the lift. And you can see how we get our hat channel apart with our speed square. Okay, you got yours, you'll put a hole in it. So we're doing our top and our front at the same time as we move straight down. That way we're not moving so much. And then again, the lead guy down there, I'm just holding until he gets his screwed on. Should be right there, right? Okay. And you should be lined up. If you did it right, this hat channel should be matched up perfect. Once you got this on layout, well, you don't have to worry about the front. It's already on layout, so you don't have to do your measurement on that. And I recommend, if you're doing vertical metal, I recommend these because some of the videos I've seen, even the brochures, show not having these and putting your hat channel way back here on your truss, which would be, oh, they're all on it. It would be right here and then one way down here, and then you can sheet metal across, sheet metal up, and you could tie it all together with screws. I don't like that personally myself. If you like it, great. I like the Eave quarter brackets because then I can put my screws here. I can put my screws here on my sheet metal. It makes it a nice quarter. With my trim, my Eave trim is 6 inches, which is gonna put my Eave trim right about, it'll be about 1.5 inches, so it's gonna be pretty close to right there. So I get a 6x6 Eave trim, which when my sheet metal comes up here, we'll do our walls first, then we'll Eave trim that up over it, and then that's done. Screw your roofing down to it, and then everything's pretty. So it's just a matter of what we like. But we do a lot of buildings. We do, pretty pretty good clientele, people that really like some special stuff, and they like what we do. So we'll keep going on these hat channels and get these done. Another thing I like to do is I put my mark, I put an X. It's just no different than regular conventional framing. X is where your truss goes, so that truss is gonna go way over here. It's gonna be put way over here on that layout. So vital to put your mark for 5 foot, X on that side, that knows which side you got it on. I had a guy that wouldn't do it, and next thing I know, he put it over here, and now we're way out of layout and couldn't figure out why. You look down the truss, and the truss is all bent, so it has to go clear over here to be out layout. The string line is the best way to go. It just, the string, even our hat channel up here, we'll put a board and a board, we'll measure it, we'll put a board and a board, and they'll run the string lines, and they'll follow that string line, because it's extremely straight. So when you're doing, like when we sheet our building, we'll just tag our hat channel, and then we'll come back up with our 4 foot level, and we'll put them from screw to screw, and then we'll mark our pattern all the way down. So if your hat channel's straight, your screws are gonna be nice and straight underneath. Even with our stitch screws between that, we measure from the outside to the center on every one. So when the customer looks up, all they see is nice straight screws. All our sheet metal on the outside that's low is all stacked up, pre-drilled. So your screws are just perfectly straight in line. So you don't get this when your screws, and I don't chalk them. I'll pre-drill my sheet metal on my walls every time. Roofs, I do not pre-drill because you never see the roof, and plus the way we do it, it's straight anyways. So you ready? You ready? Hit me. Give it to me. You look good over there?
I mean, I may have to pull this truss forward, but
That's dead center. So
47, I'll just measure it on the outside when I put my string lines up.
yeah, but we don't want to do center. We want to put it. We want it here. That. So we'll have to put a piece up there just a dead center. We do dead center, hold it here, and mark the edge, and then remeasure it to that edge, and then we'll put the blocks up. Same thing on the other side. And then we run a string line and follow that string line all the way down. As long as they don't get bad wind, we can do it. Okay. So that's what we're gonna pull. 47.
This is 47 1/4.
I'm gonna go 47 1/4 to here. That's my first one on the hat channel. Speed square it. And then we mark, of course, always mark your 1 inch. What you can see here on the mark here. So that's the center of my hat channel, and that's the 1 inch center. So that's where you start your hat channel. So your hat channel is gonna start right here and right here, run this way. So they do that because these are 5 foot trusses. From there to the center of the third truss is gonna be exactly 10 foot. So if you don't do your 1 inch mark, the hat channel is gonna go all kinds, and you're gonna be mad, you're gonna be pulling them back off. So always if you look in your brochure, in your pamphlet, it'll always tell you mark 1 inch in and start your hat channel there. They're designed to go center to center to center. So we're gonna figure out what these, we need a piece of hat channel.